The new indictment of former President Trump comes just as House Republican lawmakers are stepping up their investigations into Hunter Biden. House Oversight Chairman James Comer has said he sees evidence of money laundering, racketeering, fraud, failure to register as a foreign agent, and even sex trafficking. We're joined now by Eric Eggers, Vice President of the Government Accountability Institute and co-host of the Drill Down podcast. Eric, it's good to see you. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Lindsay. It's good to be here with you once again.
Okay, so a lot of people are probably wondering the same thing right now. Just as you had key Republicans writing to Attorney General Merrick Garland demanding to know how Hunter Biden got this lenient plea deal, all of a sudden we have a new Trump indictment. I mean, the timing does seem suspicious on this.
Yeah, especially when you consider the fact that new charges mount for the former president as the evidence continues to mount against the son of the current president. The news over the last 4 weeks couldn't be worse for Hunter Biden. We've heard from his good friend and close business associate, Devon this week. We've heard from whistleblowers who said that they've been curtailed at every turn. And we now know that Hunter Biden's plea deal fell apart thanks to the scrutiny of a Trump-appointed judge. And I think, Lindsay, the key there is if you look at the transcript of the meeting with Hunter Biden's deal and his lawyers, you had lawyers for the United States government and Hunter Biden telling a judge that it wasn't her place to say that the investigation into Hunter Biden had problems or that more charges should have been filed, and that the remedy was the political process, not anything having to do in the judiciary. So I think that just puts things into stark relief. If they're saying that the remedy for charges against Hunter Biden's investigation are political and not judicial, then I think it's fair to consider any charges against Donald Trump to be political as well.
So there are 3 different House committees right now who are actively investigating Hunter Biden. And we know from this plea deal falling apart that the Justice Department is actually actively investigating Hunter Biden as well. From the reporting that you're doing, from the investigating that you're doing, do you think this is going to change anything about how the Justice Department is handling this case? Will they take it more seriously now?
Not under the current administration, I'm sorry to say, because I think these are people that are in the DOJ that I think will face no consequences under President Biden. If you're a member of the DOJ, do you think there's going to be professional benefit for you putting more teeth into charges against the son of the president? That's exactly the problem, and I think that's one of the things that the judge sussed out. So I don't think that any changes will come, but if the level of public scrutiny, thanks to the work of the House Oversight Committee, they're the ones actually getting the bank records, right? I mean, the bank records are what the IRS agent, who was a whistleblower, said that's what led us to want to file charges in the first place. Those charges were folded into a misdemeanor. So I think as the House Oversight Committee continues to get more information, there's 6 more banks to look at. There's potentially a phone next connected to Joe Biden that could be subpoenaed. There's more financial transactions to look into. I think the more information that comes out, then that's just how much more galling the actions of the Department of Justice will look. And so maybe then public pressure will force something, but I'm not optimistic.
Well, and you speak about these whistleblowers. I mean, what they're alleging, too, is that the Justice Department actually slow-walked these Hunter Biden investigations and into any investigation into Biden. We've had Attorney General Merrick Garland now come out and say those aren't true, but he has or says he's going to allow the district attorney in this, David Weiss, to come out and testify, we think maybe in September. Do you think that that will help us get to the bottom of this if David Weiss, the U.S. attorney in this Hunter Biden case, does testify?
Lindsay, I want so badly to give your audience good news, but no, I don't think that will help at all, because all that will do is David Weiss explaining why he helped to kind of essentially cover up the crimes that Hunter Biden has committed and why he hasn't been more earnest in his investigation of the role that the current president of the United States may have played in business deals. I mean, consider the fact that you've got Devon, the business associate of Hunter Biden, saying that a member of Burisma said, we need to get the prosecutor fired. And then Hunter Biden said, okay, we need to call D.C. Now, we don't know who they called in D.C., but we do know one person who lives in Washington, D.C., brags about getting that prosecutor fired. And that's Joe Biden, the president of the United States. So I think, until that question becomes fully vetted and people show an actual interest in figuring out what role Joe Biden might have played in any business arrangement that Hunter Biden had, then no, I don't think we'll be getting to the bottom of it, because that's the heart of the investigation.
All right, so many more questions still to be answered that we don't know yet. Eric Eggers, always good to see you. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Lindsay.